Welcome to my craft table. Hello, this is Jamie Magrich. Welcome to my craft table. Today I'd like to show you how to make this card. And let me scroll down and we can get started. Okay, let's get started. Welcome to Jamie's craft table. Again, my name is Jamie Magrich and I'm going to show how to make this card today. So let me put the card over here. And we can get started. Okay, what we're going to be using today, let me place this aside for a minute. Delicate lace edgelets. We're going to be using this one here. It's going to have a different SKU, I believe, but I'm not 100%. Country Floral 3D embossing folder. The Butterfly Wishes, I'm using this one and this one. Handwritten background stamp. Pacific Point ink. A large pair of snips. Long bladed snips. I've already cut out the lace. And the two largest ovals. I cut them both out at the same time, so I have a piece for a frame and this piece here. And actually I don't need this piece, I need another piece of that one. So okay, so I'll cut out an oval of that. I have a strip of Pacific Point. It's 3/4 of an inch by 4 1/4, I think. Let me get to a side where I can see the ruler. By just a little bit more than 4. A piece of the flax ribbon, a bow tied from the flax ribbon, just 3 strands of it. I have a piece of, this is Bristol cardstock, and this is, we're going to cut it down to 4 by 5 1/4, and a card base, which is 5 1/2 by 8 1/2, scored and folded at 4 1/4. Now these here are just showing you, this is Bristol smooth cardstock. I want to show you these here. I did a stamping comparison. This one is stamped on the Stampin Up. It's a lot darker. And this is on the Bristol Smooth. But I found I could see the details a little bit clearer on this one, even though it stamps lighter. So I chose to use the Bristol for this particular stamp, for this particular purpose. So let's get started. Alright, here's our oval. This is the larger of the two. That one will put on top of there. So let's put these detail pieces aside for now. The first thing we need to do is stamp a couple things. Where did I? There it is. This aside. Okay. Turn this over so it's not so on the layer piece. We're going to ink up the handwritten background stamp. Bring it in so you can see it. Okay, and then we're going to stamp it on like this, 2/3 of it on this side. Turn it this way so I don't get ink onto everything else. Alright, awesome. Let's put that aside to dry for a minute, because I will need to run it through the embossing folder, and I don't really want all that ink to get all over my machine. Alright, now we're going to bring in this oval. And we're going to start with the sprig. I think it's a cherry blossom or an apple blossom, one of the two. We're going to stamp that right here. Awesome. And we're going to take the butterfly, stamp that right in here. Perfect. Okay, so that's that part. And we are done with the stamping. Put these over here so they're out of the way and I don't get ink on anything else. And I'm going to put you on pause because I'm going to dry this real fast. And then what I'm going to do is put it into my embossing folder like this. And then I'm going to run it through my machine so it just embosses this white area over here. Okay, and I'll be right back as soon as that is done. Okay, I'm back. I've just run it through the machine. And that's what we end up with. It's really kind of pretty. Okay, now we are going to there it is. I was going to say, what did I do with that? We're going to bring in this piece here. We want to put this about like that. We want to try to center it up so that we have the 3 full pieces. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue on the back of it. Not a lot, just enough to get it to stick down. It's about 1/4 of an inch from the edge where we did that. It could be closer if we want, but I think that's where we want it. Okay, then we're going to take this Pacific Point piece and we're going to fill in this spot here. Oh, I forgot to trim this down. Okay, so let me do that and I'll be right back. Okay, I trimmed it down to 4 by 5 1/4. What I was going to have you do is turn it over to trim this off, but it worked out my advantage doing it this way anyways. Okay, then I'm going to put glue on the back of the Pacific Point piece, and this is going to be the bridge between this and this. Line it up with one edge. Make sure it's straight up and down. If there's any hanging over, turn it over. Put the scissors against the card and snip. Okay. Now we're going to bring in this piece. And this piece here is going to just sit on here. Like that. It needs to be trimmed just a little bit. So let's trim this end here. And I'm just going to put a little bit of glue here because it's not going to show anyway underneath. You can put it straight like that. I just liked it better a little bit crooked. I'm not quite sure why, but it just worked better for me that way. The ring here is going to get just a little bit of glue around the edge. Not a lot, tiny bit. You don't want it oozing out and getting sticky. This is going to go right on the top of this piece. Right at the edge. So it makes a frame. Okay, then we'll put dimensionals on the back of this. Okay, this is going to get centered over here on this side. You can put it up or down however you want it. One thing you need to be careful about with stamping on Bristol is it doesn't dry as fast as the Stampin' Up! Paper, and it's smeared a little bit. I'm going to take my bow and adhere it here down at this bottom. And then we're going to adhere this to the front of our card base. There's going to be an 1/8 of an inch border all the way around it because it's a 1/4 inch smaller. There you go, and there's our card. There's the one we just did. Here's the one I did prior to the... Well, thank you so much for joining me at my craft table. I hope you have a great rest of your day.